Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Herlema Owens, and we're at the Connect 4 AWCWA's Workforce and Business Development Network for Work series. This series is really special to us. It is 9/11, September 11, 2025. 24 years since 9/11 actually happened. What is your 9/11 story? I have one. I just so happened to be working on the AirTrain terminal building downtown Jamaica on something in 94th Avenue. And it was a really strange day for me. In construction, we go through changes. Sometimes we're liked, sometimes we're not liked, sometimes we're hired, sometimes we're laid off, but you never want to get fired. Well, that day, everybody got laid off because of 9/11. I was having a little thing with my general foreman, and we ended up in the main office, and everybody was sent home that day. Okay, I'm skipping a lot of the most important parts of the actual story of my general foreman and I, but that's not what's important in this story. Everybody got laid off, but when we came back from out of the office, and I heard my other coworkers talking about, hey, the World Trade Center just got hit. It came down. I was around for 1993, and I remember when they tried to explode it from the parking garages. So I was like, oh no, that happened in 93. No way that could be happening right now. And suddenly we heard a news burst, and we were all sitting there in shock, like, wow, and then we were all sent home, and we were in an uproar. I had friends in Manhattan, I'm sure you did too, and it was a really trying moment. I was doing television during that time also, and one of the women who was working with me just so happened to have been in Lower Manhattan, literally had to walk from Lower Manhattan up to the 59th Street Bridge, walk over the 59th Street Bridge to get back into Queens because there was no other way to get here. So many people lost their lives. So many families were broke up and hurt and distraught over this. And you know what though? There were some miracle guys too, because when God's not ready for you, He's not taking you. There were two brothers who rolled down the rubbish. But then, if you remember, there was another one in October, and we lost them then. So when it's not your time, it's not your time. But it was horrible because it was time for a lot of people. And I know you too heard stories like, my husband was never late for work, and this day he decided not to go. And other people had stories like that, that for some reason they didn't appear there. I had got offered a public relations job prior to that time and turned it down because I was working over at the AirTrain terminal building downtown Jamaica. I wanted to stay closer to home, even though I was doing public relations, I was doing television, I was doing marketing, I was doing all that stuff back then. That day, I was on Supton Boulevard with all the people who were working on that particular project. And it was really, really sad to know that this was real, that it had actually happened. And today, 24 years later, I'm doing networking that actually falls on the actual day. As a construction worker, retired, Local 731, we have in our hall a piece of that steel. And every time we go in there for a union meeting, we give praises to those brothers and sisters that we lost during that time, to those family members that we lost during those times, to those friends that we lost during those times. For those who are still suffering from that, a lot of us, even after 9/11, went down there to shape work, like myself. We went down there to the World Trade Center. We shaped, trying to get work, trying to help to clean up the city, trying to help to move the road. They're still doing that stuff. They're still trying to identify body parts today. So many people are still sick and dying from that time. So what I would say to you is, make this the new first day of the best days of the rest of your life, because you never know. when it might be your last. Make this the first day of the best days of the rest of your life, because you are still here 24 years later and on 9/11. Be blessed. Know that I know that we're blessed. My name is Herlema Owens. I'm the president and founder, principal consultant of the Association of Women Construction Workers of America. I'll see you soon. This is my 9/11 story.